Hello YouTube students, my name is Vincent and today I want to take a look at multiplication and division of rationals. In particular, I want to look at the New York Regions question expressed in simplest form, 4 minus x squared over x squared plus 7x plus 12, all divided by 2x minus 4 over x plus 3. Now before we get started, I want to consider a table of useful facts that I prepared. We have the difference of perfect squares. A squared minus b squared factors into the form of a plus b, a minus b. We also have that when we have a binomial in the form of a minus b, we could rewrite this as minus 1 times b minus a. And last, when we have the quotient of two fractions, a over b divided by c over d, we could rewrite this as a multiplication problem, a over b times the reciprocal of the bottom fraction, so d over c. Most teachers show this with the keep, change, flip mnemonic to remember this, so whichever way is helpful, you could go ahead and use that. But now that we have those three facts, let's go ahead and start this problem. And first I want to implement this keep, change, flip fact to simplify this. So let's look at 4 minus x squared over x squared plus 7x plus 12. And now instead of division, we're going to go ahead and multiply. And we have times 2x minus 4 over x plus 3, but we need to flip it, so we're going to have x plus 3 over 2x minus 4. Now we could go ahead and start factoring these fractions term by term, meaning we want to factor this numerator in the blue fraction, the denominator, and so on with the green fraction. So now we look at 4 minus x squared, and I'm going to go ahead and write this as 2 squared minus x squared divided by x squared plus 7x plus 12. And then we could just go ahead and rewrite x plus 3 over 2x minus 4. Now, the reason why we put this in 2 squared minus x squared form as opposed to 4 minus x squared is because now we're matching this difference of perfect squares. And it makes it easier to just go ahead and factor this blue fraction like so. We have 2 plus x, 2 minus x now. And now in the denominator, in order to factor this quadratic expression, we have an x squared plus 7x plus 12, so we need to ask ourselves, what two numbers will sum to a positive 7 and multiply to a positive 12? After a little bit more thought, we arrive at positive 4, positive 3. We could quickly check because 4 plus 3 is 7, 4 times 3 is 12. Now for the green fraction, we could just go ahead and rewrite x plus 3, because this is already simplified in binomial form. And now for the denominator, what we need to do is we look at 2x minus 4 and we ask ourselves, does 2x and negative 4 have any common factors? Yes, they do. They are both divisible by 2. And when we divide 2x by 2, all that's left is x. And when we divide negative 4 by 2, all that's left is negative 2. And we can always check this step by quickly redistributing. So now, before we go to the next line, let's look to see if we have any common factors. And we do. We have an x plus 3 in the denominator is going to cancel out with an x plus 3 in the numerator. So now let's go ahead and rewrite the next line without those two factors that just canceled out. So we have 2 plus x times 2 minus x over, and we have an x plus 4, and we have 2 times x minus 2. But now, the last useful fact we need to consider is that when we have a binomial in the form of a minus b, we could rewrite it as minus 1 times b minus a, because in some sense this minus 1 gets distributed to b minus a. We have a minus 1 times b is a minus b, a minus 1 times a minus a is a positive a. So that's how that minus 1 acts, is reversing those two terms. And we do that, this useful fact, we target it on 2 minus x and x minus 2. So what we want to do now is we want to rewrite this expression as 2 plus x times a minus 1 times x minus 2. Notice how we substituted 2 minus x with minus 1 times x minus 2, mirroring this useful fact that we have right here. So now in the denominator, what are we left with? We have x plus 4, and we have 2 times x minus 2. But notice now that we have two more factors that are going to cancel out. This x minus 2 is going to cancel out with the x minus 2 in the numerator. So now at this stage we could just go ahead and write our final solution to this problem. And we're going to have that this is all equal to, and instead of 2 plus x times minus 1, we could just go ahead and call this minus 2 plus x divided by 2 times x plus 4. So we have 2 times x plus 4. And this is going to be our final answer to the problem. Simplify this expression here. Okay, well this is going to conclude the problem as well as this video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that it was helpful.